Imagine a treasure so sacred, so valuable, that kings whispered about it in fear. A place where heaven and earth met, a house so radiant with gold that it blinded travelers in the sunlight. This was not legend. This was Solomon's temple. And one day, it was reduced to ashes. What happened on the day the dwelling place of God was destroyed? The most glorious building on earth. The Bible tells us in 1 Kings 6 that Solomon spent 7 years building the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem. But this was no ordinary structure. The temple was built with stone, cut at the quarry, so no hammer or iron tool was heard at the site because this house was holy. The interior walls were lined with cedar from Lebanon, carved with palm trees, flowers, and cherubim. And then, every surface was overlaid with pure gold, not painted, not plated, covered. Gold covered the walls, gold covered the altar, gold covered the doors. The Holy of Holies held the Ark of the Covenant, the throne of God on earth. Above it stood 2 massive cherubim, their wings stretching wall to wall, overshadowing the mercy seat. This was the place where God said, "I will dwell among the children of Israel." 1 Kings 6:13. When Solomon dedicated the temple, fire fell from heaven, and the glory of the Lord filled the house so powerfully that the priests could not stand to. Minster, 2 Chronicles 7. For generations, this building stood as proof that the God of Israel was real. A temple the world envied. News of the temple spread across kingdoms. 1 Kings 10 records that the Queen of Sheba traveled immense distances just to see its glory. She was left breathless. Silver was considered worthless in Solomon's day. Gold flowed into Jerusalem like dust. But the temple's true value was not its wealth, it was God's presence. And that is what made it dangerous. The warning is ignored. God had warned Israel clearly, "If you turn away, I will uproot Israel from this land, and this house will become a heap of ruins." 1 Kings 9:6-8. Yet over centuries, kings led the nation into idolatry. They worshipped other gods. They ignored the prophets. They trusted the temple instead of the Lord. They believed, "Nothing can touch us. God lives here." But God had already departed. Enter Nebuchadnezzar. From the north came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, most powerful empire on earth. The Bible describes Babylon as ruthless, disciplined, and terrifying. Jeremiah for Habakkuk 2. Nebuchadnezzar surrounded Jerusalem not once, but 3 times. He carried away treasures. He took nobles captive. And finally, he returned for the rest. The day everything burned. 2 Kings 25 records. The moment history shattered. Babylon breached Jerusalem's walls. The city was overrun. The priests were slaughtered. The people were chained and dragged into exile. Then came the unthinkable. He burned the house of the Lord and all the houses of Jerusalem. 2 Kings 25-9. The temple once filled with God's glory is set on fire. Gold melted. Sacred vessels were smashed. The ark disappeared from history. What generations believed was untouchable was gone in a single day. Why God allowed it. This was not Babylon's victory. This was God's judgment. Through the prophet Jeremiah, God had warned again and again, "Do not trust in deceptive words and say, 'This is the temple of the Lord,'" Jeremiah 2. For God did not abandon his people suddenly. They abandoned him slowly. The fire that consumed the temple was the visible proof that God's presence had already left. Hope after ashes, but destruction was not the end. God promised exile would not be forever. After 70 years, the people returned. A second temple was built, and centuries later, God himself returned, not in fire but in flesh. Jesus stood in Jerusalem and said, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." John 2:19. The true dwelling place of God was no longer stone and gold. It was Christ. The final message, Solomon's temple, teaches us one terrifying truth. God's presence is not guaranteed by buildings, only by obedience and faith. And one glorious truth: even after judgment, God still makes a way back. If this story opened your eyes, write "Lord, dwell with me" in the comments.